start here with this piece often because, to honor this as Cayuga land, to honor this as Haudenosaunee territory. That Ithaca, our community, is a settlement community.
My name is Caleb Thomas, and I organize murals in Ithaca, New York. I've been organizing murals for almost 10 years here in Ithaca, and I got involved, inspired by a black elder in the community, Gino Bush, who was working to change State Street's name to Martin Luther King Jr. Street. Back in 2008, I started organizing murals inspired by a visit to San Francisco's Mission District and seeing their amazing cultural murals and their use of murals as a cultural resistance to preserve their roots, their Latin American roots in that neighborhood.
We can't just have the middle class people at City Hall or the owning class people that own the buildings to have a say in what our community looks like.
My name is Yana Spina. I am a freelance artist. A lot of my art is very dark, but whimsical. I have a mural on South Hill Recreation Trail. And Caleb Thomas, which is actually one of the people that I met when I moved here, basically told me that there was this fence that somebody wanted to cover with art and so he ended up setting that whole thing up, and it was more of kind of like a volunteer thing, which was really cool because I'm just glad we ended up having the opportunity for that. My painting is actually a man and a woman in the middle of like this congested city town, so kind of thinking about what love is, which is kind of corny, but I actually met my husband here the first week I moved here. I just kind of wanted to show people that chivalry and love isn't dead. I would say a lot of different things inspire me, but definitely the strange and unusual. I just want people to question, and I want people to, think about things that they normally don't think about, because in this society, we're just constantly going and going and going, and there's never a time to stop and look at things that are actually beautiful in a way. I feel like people are really, really numb to a lot of things with like media and other stuff that's happening in the society. And I would like to give Caleb a lot of credit because he's basically doing this because he's really in love with trying to get people to express themselves. And it's grown a lot since I first started moving here. And I definitely think it's gotten to a point where people are like using art to make communities and get to know new people and bring people from out of state into this area to know more about Ithaca in general.
I think visibility is very important. The space at Southside, that area upstairs in the loft, Dr. Nia told me that it's like an art space for young black girls. So I wanted them to have like a permanent image of just a beautiful black woman, thriving, like being beautiful, being strong. I wanted to like depict women kind of coming out of the earth as if they're growing from like past to represent like ancestors and that kind of thing. And I wanted to have like a group of 3 women because I like the idea of triangles because they're supposed to be like the strongest shapes. I wanted to have one woman at like the base being the support for the rest and being their own little like ecosystem, like supporting themselves.
Through art, it's just a piece of the puzzle, and it helps inspire people to think big. And as an organizer of murals in Ithaca, what I do is I assist projects. I'm helping with the paperwork, with the hoops to jump, with building the relationships between people, to help find funding and walls and artists for pieces around in our community. For me, also, I see these murals in Ithaca, these artists that are being so generous with their time and abilities, their creativity, and their vision, and being vulnerable out in public to help also put out messages that are important for passersby about people's different cultural roots.
The director, I believe, of the Cancer Research Center was attracted to my piece because it's basically just like a bunch of people, like red people, brown people, yellow people, just like living life, like a community scene of like leisure and play and fun. And she just wanted the space to be welcoming.
Our friend Cruz, right? We had the opportunity to open a barbershop, and he wanted to make a statement. I want to have Martin Luther King over here, and I want to have Malcolm X getting trimmed. Prominent people within the struggle of the people. Art is some of the things where you notice the connection. I think once you connect, people like your work because they can relate. We're always bright colored people. When I was in prison, I didn't draw drab pictures. I draw pictures of what I would like to have seen, not dark and gray. I would, bright sunshine. The sun would never shine as bright as it shined in my paintings. I did that because that freed me.
I think a lot of people see the murals popping up around town and think that they're really quick and don't understand how much organizing goes into each piece. All the months of working together, of planning and permissions and negotiating and just relationship building. But people are pretty amazingly supportive in the community and seeing the power of these art pieces. And in the last couple years, just getting more and more unapologetically specific about organizing murals with a justice-related theme, or murals that are painted by people of color, women, working-class artists, people with jail experience, Muslim artists, LGBTQ artists, and other artists of traditionally marginalized identity group. Part of the reason why I like organizing murals is it's a burst of fresh energy, and it's people say, walk by it and say, that wasn't here before. I see every blank wall in our community transformed by artists into a creative expression is a success.